There is a point in your life when the noise finally stops, the pressure fades, the chaos quiets, and instead of relief, you feel something colder. You don't feel calm, you feel exposed. You feel like something is ending inside you, and you can't explain why. People think peace is supposed to fix you. But when you've lived your whole life braced for impact, peace feels less like healing and more like disappearing. You don't fall into it, you sink. Chapter 1. The Sudden Quiet. There's a kind of silence you don't prepare for. It shows up without warning. It doesn't announce itself. It just arrives one day, and the world feels like it's holding its breath. You notice it in small ways. You stop checking your phone. You lose the impulse to move from task to task. Your mind stops pushing you forward. At first you think you're tired, but the sensation is different. It's not exhaustion. It's a strange absence of urgency, like someone cut the tension that kept you upright. And when you've lived years on alert, this shift doesn't feel natural. It feels like a system failure. Your body doesn't trust the quiet, so it tells you something is wrong. It prepares you for danger you can't see. Peace becomes suspicious. You wait for the next disruption. You wait for the hit you've conditioned yourself to expect. The truth is uncomfortable. You built your identity on surviving pressure. You shaped your sense of self around difficulty and forward motion. So when the pressure lifts, your identity loosens with it. You don't know who you are without the tension. You don't know how to just be. Peace asks you to stop bracing, but your body refuses to believe the world is safe enough for that. So you treat calmness like a warning sign. Your instincts react to stillness like it's a threat. You sit in the quiet, and instead of feeling alive, you feel yourself fading. Not physically, psychologically. The velocity you carried for years falls away, and beneath it, there is nothing familiar left to hold on to. Chapter 2. The Identity Problem. You learn early that movement earns approval, effort earns worth, struggle earns meaning. So you build a personality around tension, around trying, around pushing yourself past whatever hurts. You don't even question it. It becomes instinct. You wake up with a task in your head before your eyes open. You fall asleep replaying what you didn't do, and then peace enters your life, not the dream version, not the curated one, but the real version, the kind where nothing demands anything from you for a moment. You think you want that. You think it will feel like rest. Instead, it feels like something essential has been stripped out of you. Because without struggle, you don't know how to measure yourself. You don't know how to prove anything. You don't know how to define your value. You built your identity like a machine. Output equaled existence. Peace removes the output, so your mind convinces you your existence is slipping too. You start asking questions you avoided for years. Who are you when there's nothing to fix? Who are you when no one needs anything from you? Who are you when the world doesn't require your urgency? The questions feel heavy because they point at something simple. You don't know how to live without a battle to fight. You know how to endure. You know how to carry weight. You know how to handle pressure, but you don't know how to relax without losing yourself. You don't know how to stop without feeling useless. You don't know how to be calm without feeling empty. So peace feels like death, not because anything is dying around you, but because something inside you is losing definition. The part of you that needed constant strain has nothing to grip anymore, and you haven't learned how to exist without it. Chapter 3. The Fear Beneath the Fear. There's a deeper layer to this, one you don't talk about out loud. When things get quiet, you're forced to hear yourself, not the version shaped by stress, not the version molded by responsibility. The real one, the one you avoid by staying busy. In stillness, your mind stops negotiating with the world and starts confronting you. It shows you the feelings you buried, the truth you delayed, the doubts you never had time to examine. You aren't afraid of peace itself. You're afraid of what peace reveals. You're afraid of what rises to the surface when nothing distracts you. When you finally slow down, your past catches up. Old memories return in sharper detail. Old reactions show themselves again. You start noticing patterns in your behavior you never wanted to name. The tension you lived with wasn't only pressure, it was protection. It kept you from having to face the parts of yourself you weren't ready to acknowledge. When peace takes that shield away, the exposure feels dangerous. You feel unprotected. You feel stripped down. You feel like every part of you is under a spotlight, and maybe the hardest truth. You fear not the quiet itself, but the version of yourself that emerges in it, the one you've avoided, the one you've silenced, the one you've outrun for years. Peace makes you confront that version, and confrontation feels like a kind of death, the death of the person you pretended to be. Chapter 4: The Collapse of Momentum. Life teaches you to keep moving. Slow down and you lose ground. Stop and you get replaced. Rest and you fall behind, so you push, not always for a reason. Sometimes just to avoid the feeling of stillness pressing in on you, you become good at momentum. Not because it fulfills you, but because it distracts you. You tell yourself you're building something, but most days you're just preventing a collapse. Then the momentum stops, either by choice or by circumstance. And the absence of movement hits harder than you expect. You feel a drop inside your chest, a kind of internal free fall, like your life has been suspended midair, not because anything external is falling apart, but because the force that kept you going has vanished. Without momentum, you start noticing things you never noticed before. How tired you actually are, how disconnected you feel from yourself, how long it's been since you experienced anything real. You realize you were never running toward something, you were running away. Peace ends that running, and when the running ends, the reasons for it finally appear. The distance you kept from yourself shrinks. The emotions you ignored surface. The weight you've been carrying becomes impossible to pretend away. People call this rest, but it doesn't feel like rest. It feels like the aftershock of a life lived in overdrive. When the noise dies, the backlog of everything you postponed floods in. And the flood feels like drowning. This is why peace feels like death. It's not the absence of chaos. It's the arrival of everything chaos kept hidden. Chapter 5: The Quiet Truth. Eventually, you sit with it. Not because you want to, but because you can't outrun it anymore. You realize the quiet isn't trying to harm you. It isn't taking anything away. It's revealing what was already missing. You see how much of your identity was built on tension, how much of your strength was built on survival, and you understand that peace isn't the enemy. It's the mirror you spent your life avoiding. It forces you to notice the distance between who you are and who you pretend to be. It forces you to feel what you've numbed. It forces you to sit with the parts of yourself that never learned how to rest. This doesn't bring comfort. It brings clarity. A slow, heavy clarity that settles in your chest. You start to understand why peace feels like death. Because in a way, it is. It's the death of the version of you built for war. The death of the constant forward push. The death of the identity shaped by noise, urgency, and unfinished battles. The quiet strips away the armor you wore for years, and underneath that armor is someone you've barely met. You sit in that realization, not as a moment of transformation, but as a simple truth: peace is not the end of you. It's the end of the version of you that only knew how to survive. What comes after that is uncertain. There's no dramatic revelation, no sudden awakening, just the slow recognition that the quiet isn't trying to kill you. It's trying to show you the life you've never actually lived, and for the first time, you can finally hear it.